Hey, it's Alzay Calhoun with Coveted Consultant, and in today's video, I'm going to give you an entire outline for your consulting business. It's going to be a complete organizational chart. Now, warning in advance, I am not following the typical conventional organizational chart. I think it's unnecessary. I think that it's siloed. I think what's more appropriate is that you organize your consulting business in a way that delivers the highest value for your best client. And when your client looks at your organizational chart, when they look at how you function, they can clearly see that you are positioned and ready to offer them the highest level of value. Now, the good news is I'm going to keep this thing simple. I'm not going to make it complex. I don't think it has to be. So we're going to lay out the major areas of your business in a very simple fashion. What's important to think through as we do this together is that your business should be a machine, meaning your business should create a high-level result consistently and predictably. It should happen over and over and over again where your best client knows what to expect. So as you structure your business, as you give it its organizational chart, it should be aligned in the same fashion. And you're really going to like today's post if you feel like you are currently playing out of position. And that's a conversation that I have with clients a lot. Is they've got a marketing problem or a sales problem or a funnel problem, whatever, but more importantly, they feel like they're playing out of position. They're always solving problems and fighting fires in the business, and they're not in their highest and best use. So as you use this organizational chart as a mirror for your own business, I think you'll find where you're playing out of position so you can get yourself back into position. So let's look at the overview together really quickly. You've got three major areas of your business. You've got the marketing area where clients are brought in, served, and then entered into a community. You've got the finance area, which holds basically your budgets and your cash flow, making sure that you know where all the money is. Things are tracked appropriately. And then there's legal, which is handling the agreements and the contracts, making sure you're doing business in a legal way. So these are your three elements, but let's begin with the leader of the company. Yes, I'm talking about you. So what's the job of the CEO? The role of the CEO is to architect, to construct a business that creates high-level value over and over again. And so one of the main reasons that you might be feeling friction today is that the truth is this role is split in two. It really has two pieces. There's the visionary of the business. That's part of being a CEO. And then there's the operator, the operations part of being a CEO. And sometimes they live in the same person. And trying to do both every single day can lead to friction. So to help you separate those two, here are the questions that the CEO should be thinking about. What is the brand ambition of my company? Who are we trying to serve over the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? What partnerships are we supposed to have over the next 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years? How much money are we supposed to make? What size business are we supposed to be? Do I have an exit strategy? Do I need an exit strategy? What is the succession plan for me and for other executive members so that the company lasts for a long time? Those are all visionary questions. Now, here are some of the more operationally based questions. Is the organization currently healthy? Meaning, are the employees working on purpose? Do they see a direct connection with where we're headed and the work that they do today? Is the community healthy? Meaning, is the current client base, is it growing or is it shrinking? Are the current clients satisfied? What are our metrics around customer satisfaction? And are we aggressively doing better at those, or are we doing not so good at those? So those two sets of questions begin to draw a line between what the visionary thinks about and what the CEO thinks, or what the operator thinks about, and they both live inside of the CEO. Now let's go to marketing. So why is there so much focus here on the marketing? Because if you don't have clients, you don't have a business. So it is really important to have a specific playbook for how clients are attracted, converted, and retained. So let's walk through that. So what is the role of the client generation leader? So this person's role is essentially to make a promise to the marketplace and then match a prospective client with an appropriate offer. So most people think about marketing and sales as people who talk at 100 miles a second and are browbeating and always trying to force a product down someone's throat. When truly, it's really more of a matchmaking proposition. The client generation leader really is focused more on matching people up to the right products, and it's more like a problem solver, trying to solve the puzzle. What is the prospect specific problem, and do we have a matching for that specific problem? It's kind of like Prince Charming when he found Cinderella's slipper, and he had to go out and find the woman whose foot fit neatly in that slipper. That's what the client generation leader is thinking about. Who fits neatly inside of the offerings that we have? Now, there's a very smooth handoff that goes from client generation leader to client success leader. So the client generation leader did a really good job matching up the prospective client to a product. So now they are currently a client. So now the client success leader is excited about bringing that person in to deliver on the full promise that was made to them by the client generation leader. So this person is excited about setting up and onboarding clients, getting them in the right way. This person is excited about specifically delivering on the productized service that you talked about, whether it's 3 steps, 9 steps, 12 steps. They want to work that person or work that client through 1 step at a time to get them to where you promised. And then they want to wrap everything up, make sure that there's always a feedback loop so they know where your best client is all along the process. This person is your classic sports coach. This is the person who wants to mature clients, or mature team members all through the season. This is the private tutor who's going to start you at page 1, chapter 1 in the math book and work you all the way through chapter 15. This is the personal mentor that you go to when you've got a problem. They walk you through a process, and then at the end, you've got a solution. So the client success leader makes sure that your best client receives the full value they were promised. So then there's one more handoff that goes to the client community leader. So the client community leader is all about keeping clients for life. This is the person who wants you to be, or wants that client to be connected to the company for as long as they breathe. So if there are referrals to ask for, the client community leader is going to ask for those referrals. This person is the person who introduces the continuity. If you've got a continuity offer or some kind of membership offer, it's done at this place. If there are other upsells or cross-sells or other relevant offers, those are done here by the client community leader. The client community leader is kind of like the director of alumni affairs. Once you've graduated through the productized service, now we open up the doors to the alumni, and there's all these other things that you are now availed to. You now have the options to choose. So this is the person. Another way of saying it is, this is the person whose house we always go to after the event, because they've always got the after party at their house because they want everybody around them for as long as possible, right? This is the person who is locked in on community and wants to make the community aspect of your company as robust as possible. So as a client flows through all 3 things, right? They meet they are converted, then they are served, and then they are retained. So you as the leader of the company now can think about the finance part of your business, which really is tracking what's happening in the operational part of your business. So finance is worried about the budgets, right? What money did you say you were going to spend? They're also concerned about cash flow, which, to be very clear, is not just the money in the bank, but it's the money in the business. So sometimes your bank balance can lie to you. So you want to make sure that someone's tracking what money that you are owed and what money that you owe people. So that's what cash flow does for you. So it's about tracking here. It's about tracking the important metrics, what's being spent, and then also forecasting to make sure that the path that you're on financially is a healthy path, and that's what the finance person is focused on. So this is the guy who loves the spreadsheets. This is the guy who likes playing around with the numbers to see what the numbers are going to tell him. So, your classic bean counter, your classic calculator guy, your classic Excel spreadsheet guy, that's who fills this role here. Now we can move to legal. And so legal is just about making sure that when you agree to something, that it's a good deal for both sides. A lot of agreements are made and they feel good or they sounded good when you said them, but when it comes down to brass tacks, some of the details change, and all of a sudden the deal's not as good. And so as you're working with clients, as you're working with partners, it's important to have the right kinds of agreements so that everybody knows what the appropriate expectations are. Legal helps make sure that you've done that. So this is your private security. This is the guy that guards the door. This is the person making sure that there are no interruptions with what happens inside your business. Because the real cost of legal challenges isn't going to court and being sued for $1 million. The real cost of legal challenges is that it interrupts the great business. So you can't attract customers, you can't convert them, and you can't retain them because you're over focused on whatever legal issue you have. So your legal team makes sure that you are protected from those distractions that would otherwise keep you from being a great company. So when you look at this entire organizational chart as a map, if you look at it as a blueprint, then you should pretty quickly see what role you are playing and what role you should be playing. And as you think about that, there may in fact be some gaps. My encouragement to you is to keep this thing simple. Do not overcomplicate it, because you can certainly add more and more elements, but you don't have to. It's important to remember here that you're building a machine. So, even if you are a technical company or you've got certain physical products that you deliver, there may be other silos that you would want to create, or other areas of the company that you would want to create. I want to remind you that all those operational elements are part of marketing. It's part of the promise that you've made, is that they'll get a certain service at a certain time. So if you break out your specialists, whether they be software specialists or operations specialists, and put them in their own area, then they might get disconnected with the marketing messages that you're putting out. So all that operation stuff really fits inside marketing. So you can make good on the promises that you're offering to your prospective client. So now what should you do? Well, you should use what you've got. So attached to this post are some downloads, or some bonuses. You can download this mind map along with some other special bonuses. Please download the material. Use it as a mirror. Put it against your existing organizational chart and see how things match up. If there's any way I can help you, I'd love to. Just simply reach out. Good luck out there, and I'll talk to you soon.